What's going on, you guys? It's me coming at you guys in the evening on a really snowy day. This video is going to be the video most of you guys have been waiting for. The first part of this video is going to be how to wire LEDs to your car. When I say LEDs, I mean it can be anything from wheel well lights to lights on the front, like an Audi style type of deal, or interior lights. But in this video, I'm going to explain how to do interior lights, but it applies to lights anywhere on the car, and I'll guide you through that. And the second part of the video, for the people who've been following me over a year, I feel like you deserve to know how I wired my LEDs I had before in my old Explorer last year to go to the beat of the music like I had going on, with a switch in there too. So, okay. So the first step you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get your materials together. Normally when you think of wiring something electrical to your car, you think of running a fused wire from the battery into your car through the firewall. That's not the procedure I'm going to lead you guys through. There's a really nifty device out there called a fuse tap. Let me see if I have an extra one lying around in the car. If not, no biggie, I'll just pull it out. Do I have one? Okay, I guess not. It's funny because I had an extra one last night, but I don't know what I did with it. As for a lot of things out in this garage, I don't know what I do with them. Anyways, so you want to gather your materials. The first thing you're going to need is a fuse tap, available like any auto parts store. Like one roll of extra wiring. You can choose 16 or 18 gauge. In my preference, I'd use 18 because it's easier to route through things and it's easier to twist the wires together because it's not too thick. You're going to need a 12-volt switch of your choice, and you're going to need, of course, the LEDs that you want to wire in. Your first step is to find out where you want to mount your LEDs. I don't think I have a light ran, so I'm just going to go by flashlight. Or no, hold on a sec. I got this. Hold on one sec. Okay, hold on one sec, guys. Okay, I just made everything a hell of a lot easier. I got a little light in the car so you can see what I'm doing. Since I didn't have time to make it during the day today. But anyways, so what first step you're going to do, you're going to want to figure out where you want your lights to go. And in my case, which I'm not doing right now, but it's what's going to happen to me in the future, on the bottom of this panel here, there's a strip that's like from here all the way to here where the hood latch starts. I'm going to put a green LED strip there, and the same thing on the other side underneath where the glove box is. The way the strips are held on is they have adhesive backing. If you get the good strips from like in a store, they have really strong adhesive backing. I got strips from China off of eBay for like $2. They were really bright, but the only thing is the adhesive sucked, and it wasn't really that sticky enough to use. So after you found your mounting places, you can go ahead and locate the fuse panel inside your vehicle. In the vehicle I'm using now, my 96 Limited, Explorer Limited, it's to the left of the dash, right between the front door and the dash. So what you're going to want to do is, I'm not going to explain kind of what I did. I'm going to explain what you should do. It might involve looking in your owner's manual of the car, but you're going to want to find the fuse that goes to your cigarette lighter. And let's just say, out of random, this first bank of 4 up top here, the fourth one has a 10 amp fuse in it. What you do, for example, I'll use this one. Say there's a 10 amp fuse in this one. What you do is, ow, damn. That was weird. Hold on a sec. get it. Hold on a sec. I'll explain what happened. Okay, so if anyone wants to know what just happened to me, I forgot the power wire was hanging outside of the car, so I kneeled up against the car, hit the metal on the running board, and I just got a shock on my leg. And to be honest with you, it kind of hurt, like a lot. Like my leg is a little bit stiff. So forget that light for right now. Damn, it's good because my shoes are what's grounding me on this thing right now. But anyways, let me get my flashlight because that really fucking hurt. Holy shit. I have a feeling I'm going to pull my pant leg up and there's going to be burn marks. But either way, whatever. So yeah, the diffuse tap looks like that. You're going to pull out your 10 amp fuse from the slot. Just pretend we did that right there like that. And you're going to want to take the fuse tap. The fuse tap is a little device that looks like this. It has 2 fuse slots on top, and it has 2 fuse prongs on the side. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to stick this. You're going to want to stick your original 10 amp fuse that you just pulled out of the fuse box into the fuse slot. And you're also, this fuse line goes to my halos through a switch. So what we're going to do is, what I did was I calculated that the halos will probably draw no more than 5 amps. So I got a little 5 amp small fuse and stuck it right in there in front of the 10 amp fuse. And the fuse tap is just a little short piece of wire. It goes into a little blue crimp connector. Then you have to add your own wire to go from there, from the crimp connector to wherever you want it to go. So I'll finish up talking about this. When this is loaded up like that, you take it, you tuck the wires away, and you slide it right into the slot where your 10 amp fuse just was. Now, as you can see in the fuse tap, you got the 10 amp fuse, the 5 amp fuse, and everything's all good here. And I would recommend using 16 gauge wire actually, because that's the same thickness of the wire that's coming out of the fuse tap little box into the little crimp connector. And then, good, it's not gonna shock me again. Then we have the wires ran underneath the dash to my switch bank, which on the bottom of each switch, pretend mine aren't lighted, but on the bottom of each standard switch, there's 2 prongs. There's one power in and there's one power out. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to attach the wire coming from the fuse tap to the power in on the switch. Sometimes it doesn't matter and sometimes it's labeled, but one will say power and accessory, and accessory is the LED and power is the power in. You know what if you guys are familiar with what the speaker wire terminals look like, you can slide them right onto the switch and you can crimp the wire in there. That's the easiest way. And from the out, you'd take the wires from the LED and you'd wire them directly into the switch. And sometimes, let's see, if you wire LEDs from the back seats, you're going to notice that the wire on the LEDs is a little short. So you're going to want to take the extension wire you bought, and you're going to want to strip both ends of the wire and twist them together. Like I said, this is just an explanation video. When I go to wiring my green LEDs, I'm going to make a video of the whole process to make it easier for you guys to understand. But so then you attach the wire from the LEDs to the accessory end of the switch, and you're gonna notice there's 2 wires coming out of your LEDs. One might be red and one might be black. If not, it's your job to figure out which one's power and which one's ground. Sometimes there's blue and black, where blue is the power and black is the ground, but most of the times black is the ground. For the ground, you're going to want to attach it to a metal part of your frame with a screw. I'm going to show you a great example of one. Under here, as you can see, there's a black screw right there attached to a big, long metal frame piece. I could undo that screw and stick the ground wire right in there from my LEDs, and that would ground it perfectly. Then, once you're all set with that, you can, once you turn the car on to the battery, you should be able to flip the switch. If you hooked it up to the cigarette lighter, because that's a circuit that's always on, you should be able to flip the switch and your LEDs should work. Now, what happens to most people when they do this is they stick the fuse tap in a bank that they don't know what it is, and it might be for like the reverse lights. So in that case, the switch will only work when you put your car in reverse, because you wired it to the reverse light circuit. Just like the same thing if you wired it to the turn signals circuit, they might come on when you turn signals start flashing, or you know what I mean. So that's why I'm saying the cigarette tapping into the cigarette lighter is the best option, because that circuit's always on when your car is on, and you can flip it on and off. Now, to get to the beat of the music, that is a little bit more challenging. What you're going to want to do, it only works with some LEDs, some of the stronger LEDs, not a weak one, but like the little individual bulbs I noticed. What you can do is you can wire the positive and negative wires from that to your speaker wire, and you can, when it's connected to that, when the bass hits, the lights will kind of go to the beat of the music. But I'm going to clarify that more in a different video because I'm running out of time in this one. But you do not use a switch in that, because if you flip the switch, it's going to shut off your speaker lines, which is technically going to short out your amp, and it's going to put the amp into protection. So don't add a 12-volt inline switch to those. I'm trying to remember how I did it before. No, I know what I did. I have all my door speakers wired to the external amps, and the factory wires coming from the speakers. That's how I did it. I put the power wire directly to the speakers, and I connected the ground to the switch, so I'd be able to switch the ground wire on and off, and that way it didn't disturb the amp built into the car, and it didn't shut off anything. And like, once again, I know this is a choppy video, but a lot of you guys have been asking me how you wire LEDs, so I did the best to try and describe it to you. If you want to know how to wire LEDs directly from your battery, I will make a video eventually on how to do that, because I know some people don't want to have to find fuse taps and do all that, but I'm telling you, fuse taps are the easiest way, because that way you don't have to buy an extra inline fuse holder, which are kind of hard to find. Oh man, my leg is all like tingly. It's really freaking weird. But yeah, so that's my basic video on how to install a fuse tap to install your LEDs. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask for my number, and we can just text back and forth, and I'll guide you through it however you want to do that. Or if you need any more information, just comment on this video or message me, alright? Peace out, guys. I hope that helped you a little bit.